email from someone, and it was very important that I answer her email through this video because it's not the first time I've gotten this question. And by the way, if you like my shows, please like, subscribe, share it with a friend. This stuff can really help people, I'm finding. And if you'd be so inclined, I'd be honored if you'd contributed financially to my ministry. Click on the link below, buymeacoffee.com. So the question I received is important because I get it from a lot of people. And I know that when I talk about marriage and divorce and annulment, we need to have the absolute accurate answer. So this woman writes, I have a question. I received an annulment through the church. I was honest in all the questions. All the priests I have spoken with say my annulment is valid. Still, I'm worried that it's not valid in heaven. I feel I am in mortal sin. Can the church issue an annulment? I answered all the questions honestly, but heaven not recognize it. The short answer is no. God said to Peter, and thus the apostles and the apostolic succession, he said, what you bind on earth is bound in heaven. What you bind on earth is what you loose on earth is loosed in heaven. Our job is to be obedient to Holy Mother Church. Now, of course, when the abomination of desolation comes, there's going to be other things to say, okay, is this Holy Mother Church that we're obeying or something else? But we're not there. When we obey, our job is to obey Holy Mother Church. And if Holy Mother Church gave you an annulment, said your marriage was invalid, the Lord loosed it in heaven. He loosed it. He loosed the bond. Even if in God's eyes, it's like, no, not that was valid and there was a bond, but you know what? The tribunal loosed it, I will loose it. That's what he gave us. And if you went into your annulment process answering manipulatively, or I'm going to try to use this clause about I wasn't mature enough, but you know you were validly married and you didn't answer your questions right, but you answered them in such a way so that you could get your annulment, well, then you'd have something to worry about. But most people don't do that, especially people defending. Most people are just saying, I'm going to answer correctly, and I'm going to leave the decision up to Holy Mother Church. Now, let's assume that if your case was brought to a tribunal 50 or 100 years ago, the chances are that tribunal, just numbers wise, and what we know about the church today and what's happened, the chances are that that tribunal would have said, no, your marriage is valid. In most cases, there are still marriages that are invalid. Yours may be one of them, right? That there was absolutely no, there was an impediment, or I didn't freely consent. I just didn't. My parents had a gun to my head. But in the ones where it's like, I think I'm validly married, but the tribunal said I wasn't, if that tribunal of 100 years ago would have looked at yours and said, absolutely, these guys are married, it's irrelevant. You don't have to answer for that. You are obedient to Holy Mother Church. She said your marriage was null, then you can honor that. You can date. You are free to marry because it says you've never been married before. Of course, if you're not a widow, assuming. Now, if a tribunal made a decision that was affected by some negative influence, like they were careless or they had an agenda, that's not your business. I mean, you can fight it if you want. But what I'm trying to say is, if a tribunal of 2025 is not doing its job according to how it would have been done hundreds of years ago, those people will have to answer to God, not you. But I do know, even though you've seen my videos and you know my harsh feelings on the scandal of the annulment crisis we have, I do know I've met people on tribunals, and the ones I've met are good people. They want to do what they think is right. So if you've validly written out your annulment papers, you've gotten the proper witnesses, you've done everything the way you should, and you've submitted and said, Holy Mother Church, I will trust you. then the outcome is an outcome you can accept. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have the right to appeal. Most American annulments that are appealed to Rome are overturned. It's as if Rome is saying, oh, here's another one from America. Well, it's Rome. We're going to overturn it. So you do have the option to appeal your annulment, but that's not what this woman was asking. She was just saying, am I living in mortal sin? No, you are not living in mortal sin. You were free to marry. You're Catholic. You honored your priests. You honored your church. Don't be too scrupulous. And you work your butt off in the marriage that you are in. Now, I do know that there are some people who look at me and say, there are some invalid annulments and mine is invalid and I'm not honoring that. Well, you know what? That's between you and God. If you feel that some faulty thing happened, my argument is always telling people before they file the annulment papers, well, did you freely consent? Well, I think I did. Was there any obstacle? Well, I mean, I was fine, but maybe my spouse wasn't. I say, if you think your marriage was valid and you're only using this file for annulment to kind of get out of the pain, that's where I would do my talking with you and say, really consider that. Are you taking advantage of a system that's overturning every marriage? Nearly. Or are you truly believing, even before your spouse left you, and no, I just don't think this is valid? Because most people, if you're thinking, I don't think my marriage is valid while you're happily married, are rectifying it. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So if I have to sum it up, Christine Bacon is not God. If you're a priest or a bishop or a deacon watching this, know that I love Holy Mother Church and I stand by her. I'm not going to stop fighting for her. I do know the church has been infiltrated. I do know that there are good or bad men and women that have infiltrated it, but I know that the majority are good, holy men and women, good, holy priests. So we must stay on the bark of Jesus. We must not jump ship because some people in the church are making decisions that others wouldn't have. Do your best. Fight for your marriage. Fight against sin. Do what is holy. Don't run from pain. And submit. Submit to your husband if you're a woman. Submit to the church if you are a Catholic man or woman. And if you can look God in the eyes on your judgment day and say, Lord, you know my heart. I don't have anything to hide with you. You know that I obeyed the church, the best of knowledge and intent, and I did the best I could. Then you're good. That's when the Lord will say, okay. Well, anyway, that's another video. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them below. You can always contact me at christine@breakfastwithbacon.com. I'm here to help. I'd love to help. I just want to make sure we're all going towards heaven. That's all I want to do. I'm Dr. Christine Bacon. Thanks for watching this Bacon Bit. And as always, remember to live your life sunny side up.